Boo, surprise, bam, jump scare. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Saturday. You guys didn't think I was suddenly gonna just pop in like that, did you? But with regards to Luocha, I know there's a lot of people who have a lot of questions. Now, because I am quite heavily monitored. Yes, it is true. HoYoverse doesn't like it when I publicly go open a video and reads off a bunch of unreleased, unconfirmed information regarding a character, but my live streams are much less heavily regulated. As I said before, I don't partake in Genshin leaks because exposing myself to that type of content is risky with the modern recommendations and algorithms pushing content. So that's why I don't do it for Genshin, but I don't really mind getting spoiled for Honkai Star Rail. I'll be completely transparent with you guys. I probably cannot play Honkai Star Rail once, let's say, Zenless Zone Zero comes out, once Wuthering Waves comes out. It's just not going to be possible for me to keep up with all that content. But I'm fine with Star Rail leaks. Yes, I'm fine with Star Rail leaks because I don't care about the story at all. I've made it this way. I on purposely didn't get fully invested into the story. I could say with confidence that I'll likely play Genshin. I can't really say if I'm going to make content for Genshin forever, right, until the server closes, because I don't even know if I'm going to stick to content creation for that long. As long as I'm interested, though, I'll try to keep the conversations going. But oh, I was testing something here and didn't really work out. But with regards to Honkai, I can see myself playing as long as you know, I'm having fun. Whereas Genshin is kind of like a story I want to keep up with, which it's slightly different. But when we talk about Luocha, a lot of people raise good concerns, saying like, "Oh, but Walrus, right? Like you mentioned in the video that Luocha is going to be squishy, right? And there's a risk of him getting one shot." Now, let's not talk about the details because there's people saying, "But Walrus, doesn't Luocha have a talent that prevents him from getting one shot?" If that is the case, right? If Luocha even has that, it should already tell you what type of character he is. A character who has a built-in one-shot resistance talent should only add to my point to how squishy of a character he is. Honkai. So I have no problems going over like his talents. Well, not his talents, but what's it called? His traces. I wonder, the thing is, half the time I don't even know where to go to get reliable unreleased character information. Is Reddit the place? I think they have subreddits that's dedicated to leaks. Let's see. Does he have it? He has the cleanse, which I know of. Ah, there it is. I see it. It's this one. Look. Marcus Bullock says, "Bro, what the hell was that Bottleland BS the other day? That was ghetto as hell name for him." They're just trying their absolute best to make content that's like engaging, you know, to a younger audience. And I think, I don't want to generalize, but I think there's a lot of female gamers who also likes that kind of like cutesy chibi vibe, slow paced story focused content. There's like, I'm not gonna speak for all female players, but there's a huge chunk of them who does enjoy that type of content, along with a generally younger audience. That's who they're. I don't know the stats, but I'm willing to say that Genshin Impact has a lot of girl gamers, you know, who are like really interested in that, in playing that. So here is Through the Valley. Is damage received by Luocha from a single attack cannot be higher than 70% of his max HP. Listen, chat. When there is a specific mechanic built into his kit to prevent him from getting one shot, what does that tell you about this character? He can get two shot though. You know, what if there's 3 or 4 or 5 enemies and 3 out of the 5 hits Luocha? Sure, the first one can't do, none of them can do more than 70% of his max HP, but he can still get clapped in like 2 hits. You know, the fact there even exists an entire trace for this character to make sure he can survive at least 2 turns, right? Sure, he cannot get 1 shot, but he could get 2 shot. And the fact that he has this proves, actually, in fact, proves my point with how squishy of a character he is. Is he going to be as squishy as Tingyun? Of course not, because he's first and foremost a 5-star, and secondly, his base stats are better, right? So this is the thing with Luocha now, is that you have to build some HP percentage. Like I would say, because of his second trace here, resist crowd control debuffs increased by 70%. Effective resistance isn't as good on Luocha as I would say HP, right? So how I feel like I might be wanting to build him if I do get him, I'm still debating, but there's a good chance I think I will get him just because he's imaginary, and I'll be able to flex an imaginary healer into my comps with Silverwolf to force one single weakness on the enemy. That's always have been my goal, picking up Silverwolf. So I think I'm going to be hunting for primarily a lot of HP substats. I need Luocha to be around like 3k health. Any defensive stat on this guy is going to be good for me. Attack definitely is going to be good, but on the main stat. But for me, HP and defense are probably going to be a good supportive stat to have this kit. Daryl Walker says this is a disadvantage. Attack-based healers half of off HP healer. Right, but but you see the difference. The value of Luocha comes when he starts actually contributing to killing the enemies faster. And I think as in a game where if you want to get the maximum number of stars in Memory of Chaos, they always force you to be like, well, you got to kill them in how many turns. Luocha is definitely going to service you much better than someone like Bailu, for example. Bailu is pretty much non-existent in terms of damage. Bailu does not really contribute to the clear speed, right? Bailu contributes to the efficiency of your clear, meaning that you likely will not fail your run. As long as your characters don't get one shot or one tapped, Bailu will keep them alive long enough that eventually you'll be able to grind them down. And very consistently you'll be able to do that. With Luocha, there might be a little more variance, right? If Luocha does end up getting hit twice at the start of the fight, like what are you gonna do? Just restart, right? Just restart and try again. Fish for that, like Bailu can get hit by all 5 enemies. She doesn't give a damn. Right, like if there's 5 enemies, 3 to start, the boss summons 2 more, and all 5 of them attacks Bailu, she'll live. She'll heal back up. Your carries didn't get hit at all. That's amazing. Just go do your thing. Luocha, on the other hand, he heals passively. He has, like, most of his kit actually is offensive. Right? So, obviously his basic attack, his talent is how you heal. When Abyss Flower is at 2 stack, Luocha consumes all stack and deploy fuel against enemy. When any enemy in the field attacks an ally, the attacking ally immediately restores HP equal to 14% of Luocha's attack. The field lasts for 2 turns. So it is not unconditional. You have to set up the flower field and then make sure it's active. Once it's active, then you get the benefits. So most of the time, you just want to keep track of his active field. But that's how he heals. That's literally it, right? skill. After using his skill, immediately restores single ally's HP equal to 40% of Luocha's attack plus 200. Meanwhile, Luocha gains 1 stack of Abyss Flower. When any ally's HP percent drops below 50 or lower, Luocha will immediately use this skill 1 time on his ally without consuming skill points. See, that's the huge part, is when your ally drops below 50%, you can use this skill to save them. Now, do remember, if you are playing someone like Tingyun and she gets tapped, Luocha cannot bring her back. Alright? There's a reason why the man is carrying around a coffin, is he cannot resuscitate the dead. He's different from Bailu. So, I'm just saying, right? It works if your Tingyun survives below 50%, but it doesn't work if Tingyun's dead. So, after Luocha takes action for 2 more times, this effect can be triggered again when the conditions are met. He got his technique. After using technique at the start of the next battle, talent will be immediately triggered. Death Wish removes 1 enemy buff and deals imaginary damage equal to 80% of Luocha's attack to all enemies. Luocha gains 1 stack of Abyss Flower. So overall, his kit plays around the Abyss Flower. Once you get 2, his talent becomes active, and that's when your team can, you know, breathe a sigh of relief, knowing that Daddy Luocha's here to keep them alive. So, like, and that's his basic kit, right? His bursts deal damage to everybody, and to 80% of Luocha's attack. I don't believe that's level 10. Yeah, that's level 1. So these talents are all at level 1. Once you max out his talent, I imagine he's going to contribute much more damage to the team comp, right? The cost of it is 100. So Luocha, from like just looking at him, like, sure, he's gonna be a passive off skill point healer, right? You don't need to consume a massive amount of skill points, but that's only for 2 turns. And the thing is, if your character falls below 50%, he gets 1 stack for free. Using his ultimate gives him 1 stack for free. So technically, as long as there's an exchange between you and the enemies, you're gonna be able to have Luocha's healing automatically off cooldown, pretty much, right? And that's why people say like Blade is a good pairing for Luocha, is because Blade can guarantee Luocha's auto use of his skill. A lot of people would say, well, you know, like Luocha is the one that's supporting Blade because Blade loses health, right? But in the reverse is also true, in that Blade also services Luocha's consistency in not having to wait for your teammates to lose health. When your teammate is guaranteed to lose health, then your skill is guaranteed to proc and be active at 50% or lower, right? But yeah, he does have a skill that prevents him from getting 1 shot, but it doesn't prevent him from getting 2 shot. Right? So that's pretty much Luocha in a nutshell. By the way, this infographic is outdated. Trees and Eidolons and from, yeah, that's why I didn't cover the Eidolons. But I just wanted to see if he had the trace to prevent him from getting 1 shot. I remember from somewhere, like, I saw he did, but I never really went back to double check. But yeah, he cannot get 1 shot, but he can still get 2 shot. And just the fact that Hoyoverse saw it as a problem, like, okay, this guy is scaling off of attack, and he ends up being very squishy, right? So we have to find a way to make sure he doesn't, like, the players doesn't get so frustrated when they get super bad RNG, or just like when he gets targeted by a big boss. So they gave him the thing, was like, you can never deal damage more than 70% of his max HP. In fact, this makes it even more valuable to build some more HP on him, right? If you can prevent him from getting 2 shot, I think he will be a good character. So Luocha's basically, you want to make sure Luocha cannot get 2 shot. Once he hits that threshold, which I don't think is going to be very hard with the amount of HP defense substats people are getting. Once Luocha can survive 2 hits from the enemy, I think you should be safe. Because if you're getting hit 3 times in a row by the enemy, like, that's just unlucky, right? Come on, like, Natasha will be dead as well. right? It's just like, if that happens, just say you're unlucky and move on to the, like, just restart. But 2 times is very likely. It's very likely, right? And there's a chance that the enemy uses a huge AoE and that hits you. It's not like the enemy targeted you, it targeted your whole team. And then one of the mobs comes and hits Luocha. If he dies, then, well, you know what I mean? So it's just 2 hits are to be expected every now and then, but 3 hits is just unlucky. And he cannot get killed by 1 hit. So you got to make sure to build Luocha to a point where he can withstand 2 hits. And then you're good. You're good. I'm going to personally try for him level 80 with around like 3,000 HP, give or take. I'm going to try. I don't know exactly how realistic that is. I think Bailu can easily hit like 4k health, right? Or something like that at level 80. So for him to hit 3k, I think it's not unreasonable. And level 80 and above enemies are just gonna, they're gonna dish out some painful strikes. That's the only way I can put it. The problem with my account is that right now I also want Dance, which is gonna be one of the weapons. For people who don't know what Dance is, it is, look, I have a lot of Lycones, but unfortunately Dance is one of the ones I don't have. Where is it? Oh, here it is. So this, when the wearer uses their ultimate, all allies' actions are advanced forward by 16%. This is such an amazing mechanic. I would ideally want to like get this to S5. But I think S5, the stats are like, yeah, it's good, 24%, don't get me wrong, it's good. But it's like, it's definitely not needed. Level 1 is already plenty enough for someone like Tingyun to use. The thing is, I don't know about Yukong, right? I haven't really spoken to some of the theory crafters about Yukong, her best weapons. A lot of them are still testing, trying things out. And some of them have probably already given their verdict, but I don't know if Yukong can use this as well. That's gonna be amazing. It's just overall a good investment to maybe even have 2. This might end up becoming like the sacrificial. If you guys play Genshin, this is like the sacrificial weapon. Sometimes you're gonna need 2 of them. 1 is not gonna be enough. Dimface says, Walrus, that's a lot of if, really. What are we referring to? Luocha? Like, oh, if he gets hit, like if, yeah, but the thing is, we have to think about scenarios where we're gonna play him, right? Kind of like a thought experiment. Like, okay, we don't have him right now, and you're not gonna pull him just to go test him. Well, that's why you follow content creators, that they're gonna test them. You're gonna see how they play it. You're gonna see how they build it. And you're gonna be like, okay, that's not for me, or that is for me. But we have to run these experiments, thought experiments, to be like, okay, what if we're in this scenario? Which is, how likely are we to end up in a scenario like that? Fairly likely, right? The enemy boss uses an AoE attack, hits everybody, and then a follow-up attack comes from one of the smaller mobs. Bam! It's a very likely scenario, if that's what you were referring to. But yeah, this is one of the things that I definitely want to try and hunt for. I don't have that many summons. I don't know right now if I want to prioritize Luocha or the Lycones first. Luocha I'll get guaranteed. Like, Luocha is guaranteed. David says, very likely, but the target isn't Luocha alone. Yeah, I'm saying the AoE isn't, but the follow-up attacks by the mobs could target just one person, right? Unless the mob, like, you guys know about the fishes that breathe fire, right? Bam, bam, bam. 3 waves of that. Tingyun is usually dead. I don't know about Luocha. I don't think Luocha is going to be dead. That's why I want to prioritize some HP subsets for him. Like, I can't fully just invest them into like attack and like crit rate and crit damage. I think Luocha, you can get a little bit of crit rate. HP, in my opinion, is going to be just as important as like crit rate, crit damage, because survivability is going to be important for him. And but once he can survive consistently, then it stops becoming important. You only need as much as you need to survive, let's say MLC 10. Right? If you want him to be a consistent contributor to efficient clears, then you want him to survive the hardest hitting enemies, at least 2 of them. So once you can do that, go all in on crit damage. So then you know roughly how much HP percentage or how much defense you need to build on the guy. Unless you're wanting to run a preservation on top of running him, which I don't think is a good idea. I think running double harmony or harmony nihility with Luocha is good with a DPS, right? That's the meta right now, where people just want to pump as much damage as they can, and Luocha is going to be a great contributor to damage on your team. That's the thing he has over Bailu. Bailu just sits there and makes sure nobody dies. Even if somebody dies, Bailu can bring him back. So that's Bailu, but in exchange, Bailu does like no damage at all. And Bailu uses skill points, right? Whereas Luocha doesn't have to use skill points. Doesn't have to, but you could. Dimface says, I mean, others already dead before Luocha's dead, isn't it? Not necessarily, right? It depends. Like I keep saying, it depends. Are you running Luocha with Tingyun? Then yeah, Tingyun might die before Luocha, right? Let's say the enemy does 3 waves of AoE, the robot fish, right? Then you're screwed. If Tingyun dies, Luocha cannot bring her back. Like we gotta get this clear here. Nobody on your team can die when you play Luocha. If that happens, you restart the run. What about Fu Xuan with Luocha? I think Fu Xuan with Luocha might be an overkill. I don't think Luocha is meant to be played with another like support or defensive character. I think in Honkai Star Rail, at least in the meta right now, that you absolutely just have to stack damage. That's all you have to think about. Stack damage is the meta, just like in Genshin. I don't know if this is ever going to change. I don't think so. I'll be honest with you guys. I don't think this is ever going to change, because it's never in the history of Genshin changed to a defense meta where it's about survival. Never. It's all about, can you survive the onslaught of the enemies? If you can, good. And if you can while killing the enemies, even better. Oftentimes that requires some crucial constellations, or you have invested into good enough characters to form teams that are very well synergized and crushes the content consistently through all metas. Now, for people who refuse to invest into those characters, yes, you're gonna have to struggle a little bit. But if you are invested into, let's say, what you call it, Eidolons for some of the 5-star characters, then you're also fine. So for people who have, let's say, Eula or Raiden Shogun SC2, or let's say they have Hu Tao C1, or they say they have Yelan C1, stuff like that, they're gonna find themselves a lot more comfortable regardless of the meta, like Ito C2, just to name a few, right? So these people will just come crush through every single abyss. They don't even care about the meta, because they have constellations on their 5 stars, which is broken in of itself. Today we're going to be going back to farm a little bit. I think at this point I'm pretty content with what I got for Bailu. I'm fairly content with what I got for Bronya. As you guys remember, we got the crit damage cloak last stream, so we're pretty good. Right now, we might have to go back and farm a little bit for Seal It though. So, as we're gonna do, haven't done my dailies yet. Take 1 photo again. Complete 1 simulator. I probably will do that a little later. But right now, since our thing is full, I want to go do one run here and wish us luck, because this one is risky because you can always get this. So are we gonna have to use whatever. Let's just go and auto this. Does Bronya want crit substats? No, she has one of her traces where she guarantees crit on her auto attacks, I remember. So there's that for her. So people usually don't focus too much on her crit rate, if at all. Certainly I'm not really focused on it. I want as much crit damage and defensive stats for Bronya as possible to make sure she survives, and she can funnel as much crit damage into the rest of my team when she uses her ultimate. Riker6 says Luocha will be fine. He has a lot of flexibility in his build, and he has the emergency heal even for himself. Right, that's the thing. I never said Luocha is going to get one shot, but it's important that we recognize that this is a likely scenario. It is a slight problem for him over some other characters who scales off of HP. You need to be aware. Like, look at this. Sure, Luocha's gonna heal once he goes below half health, but right, like, you need to make sure you have enough substats to make sure in a scenario like that you don't just instantly get tapped, right? Like, that's a triple, almost no, that's a double AoE with a single target from a boss. And if Luocha gets targeted, and I don't know like how it's gonna interact when if Luocha gets sealed by the boss, can his passive talent still activate? I don't know about these specific interactions, right? There are plenty of mechanics in the game that will likely be direct counters to certain characters. So like, there might be a specific scenario where Luocha feels very bad to play because, let's say, the boss just, let's say, look right now my Bronya is sealed. Can she use a skill outside of return right now, right? Like, usually in these states she's not able to use her ultimates. Even if they have the ultimates, they won't use them because they're sealed. But once it gets to their turn, they can become unsealed. However, you see in Luocha's case, if he's sealed, can he still passively heal your team, or he's just gonna get clapped? Luocha has a 75% crowd control resistance building. Yes. So I'm gonna guess, right? I'm gonna deduce the answer to that is no, he's not going to be able to use his skill. So if Luocha ever gets CC'd, right? So I guess it's part of the player's job to make sure he never ever gets CC'd, because if he gets CC'd, your whole team could collapse in one turn. Oh. But yeah, Luocha has has a trace that like we saw earlier. It's a 70% resistance, but people also say like it's been updated. So I don't know exactly what the number is right now, but effective resistance is probably going to be just as important. So you see, Luocha suddenly becomes a character that you need enough attack so he actually does the job of contributing some damage. You need likely crit damage to make sure he doesn't to make sure that his damage actually you can benefit from his high attack scaling, right? Because you're building a ton of attack percentage, and crit damage is a no-brainer. And then followed by that, you need enough effective resistance to make sure he never gets CC'd, or like practically impossible for him to get CC'd, right? Then followed by that, you maybe want to build some HP stats because he has a talent that prevents enemies from doing more than a certain amount of damage up to his maximum HP. So, and of course he can self heal, so the more HP he has, it's also going to benefit, right? The higher pool of health he has. HP or defense, it doesn't matter. If you have more defense, then I guess the amount of HP you have is just worth more. But it's going to be quite the task, and like I said, I don't know exactly the amount. Maybe effective resistance is not going to be a huge focus because he has it already in his passives, right? In his kit. So he may be able to take a lot of the burden of the stat off of you, and also that the fact that it's in his kit maybe is because Hoyoverse was like, okay, they need to build attack, need to build like crit rate, crit damage, and then they also need to build like HP defense, and on top of that effect, like god damn it. And on top of that, if you have to build the stuff as well, right, like you don't even have enough subsets. So that's a scenario I can see that Luocha likely will not need that many. So maybe just one piece or two pieces of gear that has a little bit of effective resistance, that's good enough. Everything else can go towards crit rate, crit damage, attack, and maybe a little bit of HP and stuff, right? I don't know what people are going to want to run for his rope. If people want to run attack, cool. If they want to run energy regen, which might be the better build for him, because his ultimate generates one passive stack for him as well. So right, it's just we need to actually be able to test and play him to finalize exactly what kind of build we're gonna have for the guy. But yeah, in terms of healing, I do think Bailu is still like really good. Bailu's healing is so guaranteed, and it's so comforting. Bailu reminds me a lot of maybe not Zhongli. Like Bailu kind of feels like Kokomi or something like that. It's just like the abundance of healing, the huge HP pool, great survivability. So it's like very reliable. I think Bailu just feels reliable as a character to have. And my Bailu is not even like level 80 yet. And I do have her light cone, so there's a little bit of help in terms of her light cone when it comes to contributing to the overall damage being dealt onto the enemies. But yeah, feels good. It definitely feels good. And of course, Luocha's deep cleanse and his removal of the enemy's buffs makes it so that against those bosses who buff themselves into oblivion, he's going to make sure that you can get through them fast, right? And maybe in the future, like certain bosses, you can even completely bypass their mechanic, where like bosses buff themselves and makes them like whatever invincible or however, and you got to remove the buff by using like attack or weakness or what, like some weird bull crap like that in the future. Not Bailu, Luocha can just ignore it, be like, haha, very cool, anyways, I'm just gonna remove that real quick and you're dead. That's what Luocha can bring to the table, man. Feels bad. You guys might be wondering, Walrus, why the hell are you farming relics? Well, that's because I don't want to run into the situation where I am level 80, right? In not level 80. I'm in world level, is it 5 or 6? I think it's world level 5. I don't want to be in world level 5 and realize like I'm getting clapped. You know, I can't keep up. And I want to still be able to auto content. I don't want to manually go through like all the troubled stuff, and I am just preparing myself for that. Fuel right now is quite the excess for me. Now, yes, when I turn Trailblaze 60, I am going to dump an unholy amount of fuel into relic grinding, into probably won't even have the luxury of going for relic grinding, mainly because I will have to focus a lot on leveling up traces and probably even getting more EXP books. But it feels so wasteful if I'm gonna get like spend my fuels to farm EXP books, my god. So I think for the majority I'm gonna prioritize my DPS, obviously, and other characters that can scale off of the base stats. For example, Bailu, right? For example, Jeopard. These are characters that scale off of their base stats. Jeopard scales defense, Bailu scales HP, and you get these from leveling them up. Whereas someone like Branya, as long as she doesn't immediately die, I am completely fine with keeping her at level 70, right? Because just because I leveled her up doesn't mean I will get more crit damage, for example, right? It just doesn't work like that. So Gonna probably keep her there. And also characters like Tingyun. Like Tingyun is such a problem for me because she dies so quickly. She dies way too quickly. Oh, I need a glove for Silverwolf, and I need a better body for Silverwolf. I need a body for Silverwolf as well to get her to 4-piece, or a better bodysuit for Seele. Let's check the glove first. Ah, that is very disappointing. Oh no. That is very unfortunate. We got how many? We got 2 body pieces, 2 boots, and they were all like off stat stuff. Damn. That feels bad. Finish that. Finish that. Level 43. I'm pretty much getting close to being done with the battle pass. A ton of resources. I still have 30. Still have 60 EXP books to go. I remember how many EXP books does it cost to go from level 70 to 80? Was it 120 something? $138. Yeah. So let's take a look at how many I have. Do I have enough to get 2? Almost. I have enough for 1. And a little bit more. So once I get those 30, I will have enough for 2, which is good. But I want 4 of them to, like, by the time I reach so I'm at Trailblaze level 55. I want double of what I have right now. Maybe triple. I want around like 600 EXP books by the time I hit 60, which is probably not going to happen unless I do something like, what the hell? Unless I do something like this. No, not this. Like this. This is weekly or per patch. I have no. Oh yeah, you can buy 5 of this. That's 150. Buy this. Yeah, unless I do something like that, probably not gonna happen. But you see, the 4 characters I really want at level 80 are Bailu, Seele, Jingyuan, Jeopard. And if I have any more than that, probably don't need to get them to level 80, but like getting them to 75 would be nice. Tingyun, I would love to get to maybe 75, if 80 possible. Like, she's gonna be one of the next one. Not because I need it to, but she scales off of attack, which she gets from the base set, and like we just need her to be tankier. I don't want to invest any more into this light cone as of now. Maybe Yukong can use it, I don't know. But I want Dance Dance Dance. I'll probably level up Dance Dance Dance. And I'm currently working on Clara, but as you guys can see, I don't have enough resources to spare for her right now. A lot of grinding for my other characters. She kind of just been left in the dust. Now, people also said that to get 1 character to level, what was it, level 80, that we were using 4 million credits. Can somebody confirm that? Right, people were saying 4 million credits per character. I think that's kind of crazy. Maybe they were talking about like all the she calls me Big Sister Walrus. what a street tag. Call me Big Sis Walrus. that's my street name from now on. Yeah, with traces. So yeah. So I've already invested a lot into their traces right now. Well, not their traces. Mostly just Seele. Seele is eating well right now. Let's take a look at this. She, ooh, I want to level this up next before I focus back onto her normal stuff. So as you guys can see, everything is pretty much leveled up. I got one more level for this before it caps out, and then a couple. I think this probably can get to like level 6. Then I wait for this. Then I wait for this. Rippling Waves. I'm gonna instantly level this up once I ascend her, and then from there on out, I don't think I'm gonna really rush into these 3. Probably will get this and maybe this, but like then I think I will spend a little more resource catching everybody else up. So for someone like Jing Yuan, as you guys can see here, Jing Yuan has good focus as well. A lot of this you gotta wait for when he gets level 80. But yeah, I want the War Marshal Major Trace as well. So you see my main 2 DPSs are living quite comfortably. Followed by that, you see once we look at some of the other characters, you'll quickly see how I've just not had the luxury to go too hard on them. So same with someone like Silverwolf. Just some of the major stuff are leveled up a little more. Other stuff haven't really prioritized them just yet. Tingyun and March 7th are different because they have Eidolons maxed. As you guys see, Eidolons are maxed, so they have just more levels naturally. But I like, and then there's someone like Clara who I really want to start working on because of her physical qualities. The physical element is a good element to flex into for the Memory of Chaos. I want to build Clara and I want to build Luocha. Then I think I have coverage for Quantum, Wind, Lightning, Ice, Physical. Oh fuck. I need to level her up. Then I have Fire and maybe Himiko. I don't know. Probably not Himiko, but Fire, level her up. Then I'm good, right? Plus Imaginary. Then I'm sitting comfortably. All elements. Did I miss one? Yeah, no, everything, right? As long as I level the MC up, which she's still really good as a preservation unit in Fire. So that's the goal for what, like before 1.2 hits, I want all these characters built maybe to level 70, right? All of them to level 70, 4 of them to level 80. By the end of 1.2, I want 2 rosters of level 80 characters. See, that's a direction that I'm currently working towards, and I think before 1.2 ends, I will have a very, very complete account. If I pull for Luocha, there's a good chance I'm going to be skipping Kafka. But the thing with Kafka is, like, to build Kafka efficiently, you're also having to build other DPS characters, which I just haven't invested into. So that's deviating away from what I currently got going on. But I can definitely see a scenario when Kafka comes out, then Hoyoverse makes it so that makes the entire Memory of Chaos based off of on damage over time. Are you going for Blade? You see, that's another I want to. I do, trust me, I do. But I also at the same time don't see any reason to spend any more money in this game. Zero. Like, I don't see it. There's no incentive at all for me to spend any more money. I have some of the best characters in the game in the meta. Now, yes, metas might change, but I also know Hoyoverse very well, is that they don't like to change what's good. What's a good character will likely be really good still. In fact, if we're going off of Hoyoverse, Sealy might be better than some DPS character that comes out 3-4 years from now. You know? So I don't know. It's like Sealy might be the the best DPS option we have in the game, like until the game servers close. Look at Hu Tao. Hu Tao is still one of the best DPS options we have in Genshin Impact, and compare her to one of the newest Pyro DPS that got released in man, I keep forgetting her name. Dia, right? It's just like HoYoverse is a very interesting company. Like, it's not a guarantee that new characters are just better than old. In fact, there's a saying in CN. It's called 抽新不抽旧, which means like you pull for the new and not for the old. That's like an actual legit gotcha saying, right? And HoYoverse is just defying all expectation in terms of these traditional gotcha sayings, right? HoYoverse is like, oh, you sure about that, right? Are you really sure about that? So HoYoverse challenging the norm in that way. Feed my character some rice here. See, that's why, like, when I play Honkai Star Rail, I'm totally in the mindsets like, is it necessary? Is it really necessary to try all these cards? Now, sure, I am a content creator, so it's not like I'm losing anything by pulling for it. But it's just like, I don't mind spending money on gacha games, but I mind burning money for the sake of burning money. You know, I don't like that. I don't like spending money for the sake, like, oh, I have to spend some money. And that's how it feels like pulling for, let's say, Blade, Kafka, Fu Xuan, and all these characters. Like, I'm sure they're going to benefit your account. And depending on how you built your account, I'm sure it's going to benefit some more than others, right? But for somebody like me who has Sealand, who has Jingyuan, who has Bailu, who has Jeopard, who has Bronya, Tingyun, likely will have Luocha, Yukong, right? Is it really necessary for me to also build Blade, Kafka, and then Fu Xuan, and all these other characters? I don't think so, right? And that's wait a minute. We should play Jingyuan. Oh, I really don't want to play Jingyuan though, because Jingyuan means I you guys probably can see how much I don't want to play Tingyun. She's so squishy. It's not. I need to level up. Okay, if we're gonna play Tingyun, I don't want to play her without this leveled up. Like, it's gotten to the point. What's this? Crit rate, crit damage effect. That's good enough. We'll keep that for now. We'll level up to 12. Boom. Good. You guys might think, oh no, Walrus, it went all into HP percentage. Good. I want that for Tingyun. Oh my god. Do we need more? Okay, let's get this one up as well. She's so squishy. Moonwell level 0 relics. Exactly. Let's get this one to plus 12 as well, because attack is a much welcome stat for Tingyun. Come on. Okay. Well, thank goodness we stopped at plus 12. Good. We got 2407, 1509. We got some more defense. Her speed is just like through the roof right now. Plus 12 for speed. Dude, we don't have a single attack. Listen, chat. I am so scared for this character. I borderline might just build an HP or defense robe for her as well. I kind of want to make her even more tanky than my tanks. Okay, type 1 in the chat if you guys think that your Ting Yun gets hit more often than your other characters. Can I 1 in the chat for people who wholeheartedly believes that Ting Yun gets hit the most out of all your characters? Because that's honest to God, that's how I feel. I feel my Ting Yun gets okay. You know what? We can prove this. We can prove this. I don't have a. I'll just use this because it's already leveled up. Look at that, 1496. Got a little bit of crit rate going on here. Good enough. Let's go. I wonder why. All right, she should be super tanky now. Last time you guys watched, I played a Eula team. This time we're gonna play a. I forgot his name. A Jingyuan team. There it is. Let's try the Elation. It's been a while since I tried. I did try this before. With the Path of Elation, dealing fallout damage a random time. Okay. What about this? When Path Elation deals damage, there's a 150% to apply Sensory Pursuit. Each stack increases. Oh, okay. With the paths will consume more energy. So this is the. Okay. Looks alright. Increase damage out in character follow-up. Increase a chance of Blessing Elation to appear. Really? Is there really an increased chance? Because every time I pick these things, I swear they appear less. Alright. Boom. Let's get this. All right. I'm gonna play this on full auto because last time Eula was able to do it. So let's see Jingyuan, and Jingyuan is E2S1 chat. I'm just saying, E2S. Where's my There it is. Elation. Increase follow attack by 9%. Okay. After character launches follow attack, increase speed by 16. Oh, that's actually pretty good as well. I'm gonna take this because I'm a bank on the fact that I will get more. Boom. Let's go turn left. Herden says overall feels the characters in the center of the team get attacked more than the ones on the side. That's true. Positioning is also very important. Do that. We need as many as we can get here. Maybe I should put Tingyun where Bailu is. Marcus Bowles, like, you would think I'd be the opposite. Maybe Tingyun should just sit on the side. Kind of an overkill, don't you think, Branya? Maybe just a little bit. Speaking of overkill. Speaking of overkill. And there it is. We got our Elation. Nothing back here. They say it would appear more frequently. doesn't feel very frequent to me. Boom. Boom, 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 boom. Nice. Okay. Jingyuan didn't even get to move that turn. Okay. This is the only one we can take, pretty much. Riker says I put my ting to the opposite side of Jeppy, far, far away. Smart, yeah. That's. I mean, I wouldn't say that's specifically target. Okay, relax, relax. Why they do that? Why they be doing that? Invigorate. All right, let's see. Will Ting Yun survive? Well, that's why like having Ting Yun with someone like Bailu is really good. Why? Why? Why locking on to Ting Yun? I don't get. I'll never understand. Here it comes. Break. Nice. My god, that was juicy. Yo, you see, that's why we leveled up. That's why we leveled up the stuff. That's why we leveled up the stuff. And we picked additional HP, right? We ain't taking no chances. Boom. Boom. Dead. Well, that was easy. Elation. Abundance. Nihility. Of course. Of course. When I run abundance, it never gives me this. Alright, the moment of truth. The moment of truth. Oh, come on. Okay, we got this one as well. We can get quantum. No. Dumb. Oh. Double ice damage. Double. You're kidding me. No, 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 no. Lightning. I already have a lightning one. I want a good quantum piece. What about the ropes? What about the ropes? Attack, HP, defense. Disgusting. Disgusting. Unlucky. Next one. Next time for sure. Man, and it gave me, what are the chances of getting double ice? We'll take Silverwolf. Huh. I want this. I want to stack as many elation as I can this time. Oh, this is the error code one. Okay, okay. character loses every time they use their ult. I'll take this just because I've never taken it before, and I have Bailu, so I'm not too scared of dying. So we will see. Please don't hurt my my Tingyun, please. The good thing I've noticed about Tingyun this time is that she hasn't really been very wasteful on her skill points. Like oftentimes you'll find that Tingyun starts buffing up secondary people. Okay, so I've taken this before. I think I'll take this. Just to get more gems, you know? Like, we need dance, and we need... Like, I honestly think I'm gonna prioritize dance over Luocha. Yukong, I heard we're getting one for free in patch 1.2, but I ideally want maybe like a couple copies to get her to E1, E2, because I realized the E1s and E2s in this game is so damn good. They're all so good. They're like Raiden Shogun levels of good. So I might go for it. Boom, boom, boom. Min says, "What's wrong with ice? Better than defense." Yeah, but the thing is, they kind of tease you, right? Is you feel like you're close, like, oh my god, you got damage, but it's just slightly off of the one that you want. 52k, my god, Jing Yuan. Daddy Jing is out here completely demolishing the competition. Like, it's not even close. Zesco says, I have two dances, so you think it's better to upgrade both? Better than... I would say keep both of them. Don't superimpose it, because the slight amount of advancements your team gets is not going to be as worthwhile as, let's say, having two Harmony characters that both would like to use that weapon, and you only have one, right? Like, having the base effect at S1 is far superior on two Harmonies, is far superior to just having one at like S2. At least that's my interpretation. I also want to see what Yukong prefers. Okay, this is gonna be a tough fight because he is not weak to my bullshit. But as you guys may know, I am a professional bullshitter. Still gonna run full auto. I might die though. I actually might die on full auto because this thing can counter, right? Oh, he takes like no damage. He takes like no damage. Thank goodness that wasn't Tingyun. But Tingyun's at 3.2k health. Like, there's no way that... Oh, he actually takes no damage though. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. But it's still pretty bad. You guys might be wondering, but Walrus, why are you playing this on full auto? Oh. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, I'm dead. I'm dead. Wow, that is such good RNG though. That is such good RNG. Like, if that played out a little differently, my team would have just got wiped if I got unlucky with RNG. But I think Bailu is gonna be able to keep everybody alive here, and we should be good. We should be out of the danger zone. Oh, my butt cheeks were what? Oh, this guy can do it again? Sorry, Seele always killed him so damn quick that he's never gotten to do this twice. My goodness. Jing Yuan is just like, let's see if you will last longer or I will last longer. 82k, that's good. That's pretty good. Abundance? Nah. You know what? Abundance looks pretty good now, but I'm gonna take another big risk. There it is. There it is. That's the big boy one. I'm gonna take this one because I just want more gems. Oh, that's gonna be pretty good. Yeah, I think this one's gonna be good. Wow. That was quite intense. This is gonna be our last double, so I'm not gonna claim the one that I get for Jeppy. 4. Okay, let's start with the rope because I do need a good rope. That's an upgrade. But I don't have anybody using this set right now, but that is a good upgrade once eventually my Seele goes back to using Space Station. That's fine. That's fine. Come on. Quantum. If this is quantum damage, I will use my remodeling resin to get my Seele a crit rate body. If this is quantum, I'm moving my Seele back to Space Station by using my remodeling resin. Well, a bit disappointing. It's not that bad. Yeah, it's not bad, but my Jinran uses the other one that gives follow-up damage. Bring in Seele. What's up? Curio, look how many fragments I have. This is so useless though. But I'll take it just for the gems. Take it just for the gems. Alright, let's see what's up. Boom, boom. Opinion Curios. Oh, did I fail? did I fail? Oh, that was unlucky. I remember I remember there was a time when I went 3 times in a row without failing. You see, that's what I mean by when she starts wasting it. And we're back to the focus. Oh, that is not good. That is not good. We might get wiped here. This might be the end of the run, chat. I have no cleanse on this team. Oh, yikes. Oh, yikes. Okay. She has cleanse. Let's see how much damage we can do though with Jing Yuan. Oh yeah, once Daddy Jing gets to move, suddenly things don't look too bad. Just kidding. But there we go. Phew. Oh, I'm gonna have to level that up later. I'm gonna level that up later. Encounter occurrence. Let's go for encounter. I gotta remember to level up that card later to get the skill point when I use a follow-up attack. Obtain 1 blessing of destruction. I want both of them. Why not? Good, very good. Boom, and then alt. 53k from the alt because of the buff. Stop targeting Ting Yun, I swear to God. No, stop. She just can't catch a break. She has more health than Bronya, I believe. But like she just can't catch a break. $86k. Whew. Sheesh. Like, look at Ting Yun. Maybe, like, I'm gonna try switching Ting Yun and Bailu next time. Got one of them. Oh, triple healed. Wow. This is why Bailu is so like good right now. It's just, yes, if I was playing this non-auto, maybe I could just do better. But the fact that on full auto, I'm still... Oh. I think this one, right? I'll take this one because yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that. All right, this is right before our fight with Big Daddy Jeopard. We'll bring our own Jeopard. All right, let's level up the one I said we were gonna get. There's a one after character launcher fall. There's 100%. I'll take that. Thank you very much. Elation, boost that. Thank you very much. Take this. Is that elation? That is elation. We'll boost that. Thank you very much. And we'll boost maybe 2 of these ones down here. My nose is itchy. Increase the crit rate. Don't mind me if I do. That's always good. Energy regen or the damage. I think just the damage of the follow-up. So the Lightning Lord becomes far more lethal. All right, Jeppy. What up, dog? All right, let's see it. Full auto, full auto, full auto. Seela did it. All right, that's all I'm saying, Jinyuan. Seela did it with less Eidolons and doesn't even have her signature weapon. I even leveled up your dedicated support for you, right? I leveled up her thing, so come on, Big Daddy Jing. Show me what it's all about. He didn't even use his skill. 182,000. The damage is real juicy though. You gotta, come on, Chad. You guys gotta agree. The damage is real juicy. Counter? What are you countering, my friend? All right, let's see it. Ooh. That's a big hit. I don't even know if Tingyun. Oh, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on, Lightning Lord. Tingyun is just wasting skill points again. Like that's her thing. Oh, 242,000 broken immediately. Okay. Yeah, the damage is kind of nutty, to be honest with you. Why Ting Yun? Why do you guys keep doing that? Why you keep locking on to Ting Yun? I don't get it, chat. Am I crazy? Am I crazy, or is Ting Yun actually getting... Why are you... Okay. Okay. Imagine if this was Luocha in Ting Yun's position. You know what? Just let her go, man. Just... If they want her that badly, just let them have her, man. I like, what? Is it worth it? Is it worth, like, they spent how much resource? What? Wait, I gotta check the replay. How much HP was he at? What? I thought he was at like 60% HP or something like that. Okay, I'm going to... Okay, so I'm gonna skip forward a little bit. So I did get him down to... Yeah, after we broke his shield, I think he was down to 60%. Oh, 50%. He was at 50%. No wonder. I thought he was still at 70%. I wasn't paying attention. Total damage, 276,000 damage. Okay. We gotta watch this again. Did Bronya use her burst? Is that... No. That was even without Bronya's ult. There's like... And look, by like... We didn't even get to use all the damage. He didn't even have that much HP, so he was dead here. Wow. Wow. I never I'll be honest with you guys, I haven't played Jing Yuan with Elation. As you guys can obviously tell with how many of the Elation things had like free gems on it. Cool. I mean, we got a lot of gems from that though, that's for sure. Oh right, let's boost that HP up real quick. Gimme. We got 80 from there. We got 60 from here. That's a free summon right there. That one run gave us a free summon. Yes, what you guys are seeing is correct. I only have 2 left, and yes, I did use them on the banner summons. What did I get out of it? Nothing. God, but fuck, nothing. 56. Get some achievements here. And we're looking pretty happy here. Like boom, boom. Wow, 12k. Very good. Very good. What else? I think today pretty much that's it. Like we got some relic, we farmed some relics, we did our daily simulated universe. Wish we had a slightly better boot to boot. Got some crit damage, got some attack. It's all right, but a level 3, a blue boot is just not as exciting, you know. I want to use my remodeling resin. Maybe I'll use it here. Get a good rope for my Jing Yuan. Imagine, chat, my Jing Yuan was rocking an HP rope that whole fight. I probably, if I had a plus 15 like attack rope or something like that, maybe we would have went all the way to like 300,000. We might have seen like a 300,000 ult. And this one is lightning damage, but it's a purple. And I think it's going to be very hard to replace this, because even if I get a gold, how are you going to replace 5% crit rate, 5% crit damage as substats as well, right? There's some value here that is just hard to strictly say how something is better unless they specifically have like just directly superior substats. I get quite a bit of ice damage, I'll be honest with you guys. I think we're gonna use the remodeling resin for an attack rope. Are you ready, chat? Chat, are you ready? What? Oh, we still need this? Oh, buddy. Say no more. Or, oh, that is really good. I can't use that. 5, 6, 7. Just in case. 8. 8. Ooh, 8. 8. Actually, I can use that because 9, 9, 10. Oh wait, I'm missing one. 10. Yeah, these ones shouldn't be that good. Okay. Boom. All right, chat. Attack percent. I know a lot of people say energy regeneration is also a really good rope to go for, but I think rope, like, it's all equal. I don't think it's skewed towards any one single stat. Wait, I just need to make sure, is this the right rope? Ultimate and follow-up attack damage increased by 15%. Okay, yeah, it is. We're going for attack. You guys ready? An attack rope. Come on. Come on, speed. Substat, crit rate, crit damage. You know, that's not bad. That's not bad. Obviously this is gonna be better. I'm gonna level it up to 3, just taking a look at what the last one is. I'll take it. I'll take it. Let's take it to plus 12. Plus 12. Oh, that's a huge damage. Now I'm actually... Wait. Wait, no. What am I doing? There you go. Boom. Can we get more crit rate? Hey. One of each. I guess attack, flat attack twice, crit rate once, effective resistance. You know what? I'll take it. Should we just max it out? I don't think we're gonna be replacing this anytime soon, mainly because I don't see myself farming World 6. I believe this is from World 6. You know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and max it. Oh my god, those boots. Max it out. This way I don't have to think about my Jingyuan for quite a bit. Now, the question is... will it go into crit rate? So, Jingyuan has 78.7%. He has a crit rate body with 4 speed. Honestly, I'm thinking about switching this onto speed boots. However, these gloves are so good that it is damn near impossible for me to switch off of them. And I don't. I mean, I don't have speed boots. I do. Ting Yun uses them. I want him to move faster, but it's just like, look at this. Look, I haven't been very lucky with another pair of speed boots. So attack it is, and I don't know, like, should I go from this one to one of these? Definitely not this. Oh, if only this was a, like, if this was attack, this would even be a really good boost. But yeah, this is where I'm stuck at right now. That's a solid rope still. Oh yeah, for sure. The rope is great. His lightning orb here is also really great. I think I could even start thinking about switching this to a crit damage piece, but right now it's so unfortunate how it went into like HP so much. Like if it went into attack would have been great, flat attack would have been great, another speed stat would have been great, but it went so hard into HP. Unfortunate. Oh yeah, and this piece I only have crit damage here, but crit damage is just through the roof. Jing Yuan has good overall stats. His HP is fine, I guess. His attack is just 2804. Sealy is only at 2127. And nobody else even comes close, right? Like Ting Yun's only at 1496. So buffing Jing Yuan's attack percentage is actually insane. So Ting Yun needs to somehow keep up, but she can't. I mean, she could if I start, you know, like investing more into her. This one's 6%. This is so another 12% attack here. Her relics, like if I could get an attack body, which God knows when that's gonna come around. Like, whoa, wow, look at that, chat. Holy smokes, what are the chances? What are the chances? So yeah, getting her attack body. Ting Yun has to use a speed boot, but here she could use an attack rope. That's, do I have another better attack rope? Do I have a 5-star attack rope? I do. Should we level this up, chat? Look at Ting Yun's speed right now. She's blitzing people. She is out here just like... But the thing is, she has such high speed just to use her skill and waste our skill points more efficiently. Riker says, I think my Jing is 82 135 with 112 speed using attack boots. Been tempted to make speed boots since it's not a great attack boot. The thing is, you see, Jing, ideally, right, you want Jing Yuan, like I would want my Jing Yuan to go before my Bronya. Right? Go before my Bronya, so that when Bronya comes back, give Jing Yuan another turn, then I'm very consistently building towards my stacks, right? But the problem is, my Bronya is too damn quick, and she's using HP boots. my Bronya out here speed blitzing people. She's too fast. Until my Jing Yuan gets a speed boot in the Musketeer and eventually a speed boot in his Lightning, Wait, I think I do have a speed. Yeah, I do have a speed lightning boot, but I can't use it, remember? Cause of this! Ah! What do I do, chat? What do I do? I just have to eventually farm a superior lightning set. That's all I could do. Farm a lightning glove. Like I'll take the hit with stats. Like I'll take a hit in the substats. I'm okay with that. If I can get the 4-piece set with a speed boot, all 5 stars. So I need a 5-star lightning speed boot. Then I'm okay. Or like an attack with a good speed substats rolled, or like I'll switch out for some crit rate. Honestly, if I get a lightning glove with like crit damage and speed, and I rolls decently into speed, and then like a attack with good rolled speed substats, I'm okay to just take the switch over and take the hit on the substats. I'm okay with that. But right now the problem is that I cannot expend the resource to farm that stuff. Bailu right now is at 120 speed, which is perfect for this, I think. Yeah, this is perfect for this. So she's buffing all my allies' attack. Bronya's looking good. All my characters looking pretty decent, to be honest. I think I need a wind. If I remember, I need like a wind thing here for Bronya. I think. I'm not sure. So we got a physical, fire, attack, lightning. For her here, attack. Like she's Bronya's getting a lot of speed out of nowhere. Like that's just 3 speed, so she should be 110 right now without these two. Her boot has none. This has none. This is 1, and this is another 2. Bronya's fast. 113 is pretty fast for like for characters like Jingyuan, who has, I don't think he even has a single bit of speed. Oh, he does. Yes, he has 4 over here and none anywhere else. He has 4 speed, so he started off at 99 speed. Man, this dude is slow AF. So slow. I want more crit damage in my build. It's everywhere I go, it's crit rate. It's crit rate. Even like here is like just crit rate. More crit rate. Jing Yuan is gonna have 100% crit rate soon. Zesco says, I'm like 3 days farming quantums, and the only good pieces I get are from the other set. That's legit how I feel as well. Should we use fuel to farm a little more today? Where are we looking at for? Oh right, I could farm this one because it farms me his set. I do still need a good hand piece. This is pretty decent, honestly. It got effective hit rate. But of course you would want a 5-star before leveling it up. Like I haven't even started touching this one, even though this one's not too bad either. But like for Jeopard, you want more defense, you want more effective hit rate, effective resistance, stuff like that, right? So I haven't touched that yet. He's blitzing people out here as well with the plus 20 speed, and that's only getting him to 15. Wait a minute. Effective hit rate is 50 or higher. Yeah, so I need more effective hit rate, right? He got defense and energy regen rope. that's pretty whack. Considering I didn't even use, like, I didn't do anything. I just farmed a couple runs and I actually got an energy regen rope with effective resistance. So that's big for him. What is my effective hit rate right now? 39.1%. So I'm very close to getting that additional 15% defense. I need about 11%. I need 11%. What was it again? It was 39.1. So I need 11% effective hit rate. That's at least like a 5-star double roll in a 5-star, right? I believe effective hit rate. No, triple roll. I need a triple effective hit rate roll. So if I level this up and this hits, then I just need 2 more. So yeah, I you know what? Let's go. Let's go have some fun. Chat. Luocha's light cone is good but not necessary. I'm probably not getting his light cone. Does it, like, I'm 99% sure I'm not getting his light cone, even if I'm getting him. Boom. Oh, Sealy is really good here, is she now? All right. Sealy. We'll do 1 run with Sealy, and then we'll do 1 run with Jingyuan, and let's see how they both feel. My god. Oh, that didn't kill? It did not crit? I wasn't looking at the crit. No, stop hitting that one. That one's dead. I don't think it crit. That's why. Yeah, that one definitely didn't crit. The problem right now with my Sealy is her crit rate is way too low. So she's not very consistent until her weapon, the Sleep Like the Dead, is activated, which gives her a huge crit rate boost. That's why I was really contemplating to get her that crit rate body. To have her, like, I'd rather have her crit more and have less crit damage, because that's still more damage overall, more consistent, right? It's about consistency. Right now she's not very consistent when she's performing, but when she does perform, she's really good. But when she doesn't, it just feels very bad. And like, if it takes more than 1 turn to execute these opponents, then it's suddenly this is not that good. Like, she's just spending a lot of turns. And it's only like single target damage, right? Like Jingyuan, at least when he uses his when his Lightning Lord activates, it's like a AoE, and same with his skill, it's all AoE. You're hitting everybody. Sure, you're not killing them, but like, you're whittling them down collectively. And of course she doesn't hit the boss because, oh, there we go. Another heal. Should be done, right? Don't use the ult. Okay. Bam. Oh! Exactly what we needed. Could we just be done? Eh. Okay, that is definitely not an upgrade, but that's okay. That's okay. Let's see what we got over here. No flat stats, please. Man, that's pretty crazy. It's good, but it has no effective hit rate on it. But it has speed and defense. Let's run it 1 more time. This time with Jingyuan. Let's go. That was pretty good, not gonna lie. Ooh, let's see the alt. 34k and 66k. I think Jing Yuan has been more consistent, obviously because of his crit rate, but because of his consistency, when the Lightning Lord does move, he is definitely hitting harder than Seele does collectively, of course. Of course, it really doesn't matter where Ting Yun is standing. She's gonna get hit. On the side, in the center, it doesn't really matter. My 3 stacked Lightning Lord. After this, we're gonna talk a little bit about Luocha and then Eula, and then we can pretty much call it a stream, I guess. 37k. It's all right. All right, let's see our RNG for this one. Okay, we still got the lightning thing. Wait, that's... Wait a minute. Hold up a minute. Emergency food says sup Boris. Sup. Wait a minute. We just got... It didn't look that good at first, but it's already... Oh, it's already a boost from the previous one. Should I just feed this into this? Nah, we gotta be a little more patient. Alright, let's see what the last stat is. If this is crit damage, this would be the best piece. No, I mean crit rate. Okay. This is a little suspenseful. If that was crit rate, my god. If that was crit rate, this would have been like, whew. Not that. I want the speed stat though. Can you give me just... Can you give me the speed stat? No! That is so unfortunate. That is so unfortunate. How to ruin a good piece. If this doesn't go into crit damage or speed, we can't go any higher. In fact, it's practically already doomed. Yeah, we can't. We can't. His attack is almost like 3k. And I think we lost crit damage. We gain a little more attack, we gain a little more defense, but we lost crit damage and we gained 2 speed. 105 speed. Oh no. Oh. We gain more attack, but lost, like, it just feels like we lost too much crit damage. I don't know. But the speed is good once you hit the threshold. Until then, it's pretty much useless. Man. I don't know. I honestly think using this piece is still better than this piece. I really didn't want it to go so much into attack because he's already pretty capped out on attack. I think this piece is actually better for now. This piece will be better once we get a speed boot. But until then, this piece is probably just overall better. Wow, that feels so bad. I was hoping to roll more speed or crit damage. Yeah, that's like 30 something attack, right? Look. Oh. It was 28. Yeah, that's like 30 attack difference. Versus, yeah, this one is better because of the crit damage. Unlucky. What I thought was a big win turned out to be a big fat loss. Okay, the last run I'm gonna go do over at this domain because I'm running a lot of characters with the offset from this domain. So for example, Jing Yuan needs a boot from here, right? This is my last relic run for the day. Not the day, I mean for the stream. I swear I don't do relic runs off stream. Because I find I'm far luckier when I'm streaming them. And that's just a hard truth. And Jing Yuan obviously takes like 1 billion years just to move once. Nice. I get to alt over here. Alt, and then Ting Yun will give me more regen back. Do we have enough skill points though? Okay, yeah, we have enough skill points for Jing Yuan to use his skill, which is good. Of course, he hits Ting Yun. Why am I not surprised? Decent damage. Ting Yun out here wasting skill points again. You get to skill and alt. This is going to be huge. I think, yeah, the boss is dead after the Lightning Lord moves next. He's going to recover. And he hits Ting Yun again. This boss only moved twice. And he hit Ting Yun both times. Oh, I thought it was a speed. Oh, this could be a speed boot. This could be a speed boot. God damn it. Well, that's it for now. I mean, we've been pretty lucky with the relics. We got a lot of doubles, right? So technically, when you're TL60, you're just getting doubles anyway. So at least my fuel has been used somewhat efficiently. Thanks to RNG. But yeah, that's it for now. Clara, work in progress. I swear I'm gonna get a video out with her one of these days. Because I do have her light cone and I have her at Eidolon 1. My god. Because Eidolon 1 is important because using skill will not remove the marks of counter. So you're still going to be dealing like a buttload of damage to them without like killing them. Without removing the debuff. So then you can just over and over and over like harass them. My lord, what is going on over here? But yeah. Let's talk a little bit more about Luocha. Like my final verdict for Luocha is definitely like people want to defend Luocha by saying, well, you know, he's gonna be one of the best healers released for a very long time, right? Because the fact that he doesn't have to actively use his skill to heal you is something we've never seen so far in the game. So that's why a lot of people are giving him high praise. They don't want to hear it when people mention anything negative about him, but it's very important to warn people what you're getting yourselves into. I'm not saying don't pull for Luocha. I'm saying be more mindful of what you are actually pulling for and what he's going to bring for your team. If you think Luocha is going to help you with Memory of Chaos, then yeah, he's going to be a great addition. Pushing further is going to give you that sense of accomplishment and the rewards, not to say with every patch reset. He's a very consistent character, and I think that's great. However, it's just that, do you really need Luocha, or can you do without him? It depends on what kind of teams you have built right now, what options you have, what kind of buffers, DPSs, right? Is a scenario where you don't even need a healer in one of your teams going to be possible for you, or do you not have the characters that can pull something like that off, right? Luocha, I think, probably a solid S tier character, because think about it, he does two things, right? I mean, he does more than two things. He can debuff the enemy, he can cleanse your team, he could help deal more damage, and he heals without using skill points. So these are all of his pros, right? And he does this at E0 with a free-to-play weapon. So, and of course, he prevents himself from getting one shot. He can never take damage more than 70% of his max health. So as long as you're above 70% health, he can't die. Basically, like, think about it like that, right? If Luocha is above 70% health, he shouldn't die. So his even when he drops below 50%, his skill automatically activates and heals him, and once you get 2 of his flower stacks, then he starts healing automatically once characters falls below a certain threshold. So these are all his pros. Really good character overall, and I think for those who are going to pull him, you're going to find yourself very happy. However, Luocha cannot heal en masse. If, let's say, enemies deals devastating AoE attacks, right, Luocha might start to struggle a bit. However, you see, this is a question I have. Like, if 3 of your teammates or 4 of your teammates all fall below 50%, does Luocha heal all 4 of them, right? Then in that case, then he is an AoE healer. However, then he doesn't have double healing. Whereas, for example, a character like Bailu could be considered an AoE healer even in her skill. She could heal just one person. She could heal 1 or 2. She could heal 1, 2, 3, right? Because her heal hits 3 times. And on top of that, she has her ultimate, which then is another huge AoE heal. Just in the runs you've seen me do today, how important was it to not only have single target healing but also AoE healing to keep the entire team topped off after an onslaught of AoE attack by the enemies? Luocha is a healer, and he's a good healer, but he's not the best healer. And for those people who are like, I don't have enough damage to take out the enemies fast enough, and I really need a character like Luocha to keep my team alive, now you have to really be mindful of how much can he keep your team alive. Like, you guys saw my Ting in the runs just now. She had like what, 3,000 health in the simulated universe, right? She went from 2351 to 3,000 something health in the simulated universe, and she still died, and Bailu had to bring her back, right? So my point here really is, Luocha doesn't have the mechanic to bring teammates back. He has a ton going for his kit, but when it comes to a healer, he isn't as good as someone like Bailu. He's better than someone like Natasha. He has cleanse, right? So when we talk about Luocha, you have to talk about the character in a complete set. Meaning you have to talk about all of his entire kit. But at the same time, if people who are sitting here is like, oh, I don't need his cleanse, I don't need his attack, I don't need any of that, I just need his healing, that's all I need his healing, then you're pulling him for one single reason, right? You're pulling him just for the healing. And we're saying Luocha is a better healer than the vast majority of healers we have, and likely for what's to come. But how, like, if we're just talking about him as like just talking about the healing aspect of this kid, he may not be better as a character that helps your team survive than some of the future healers to come. So this is what I mean by be very careful of what you want from this character. He brings so much, and if you only want like 20% of what he offers, you're like, oh, you know, I don't mind for the cleansing, I couldn't care less, I don't care about the removing enemy buffs, like really not my problem, I just need him to heal. Then maybe he's not the right character for you, right? Maybe a future force, or maybe you can even find a way to keep pushing more damage and just forego healing for one team. Maybe I'm just saying, but I can't answer these questions for people, but I could present these concerns to the players and have them make a more educated decision for themselves. Luocha is fine. He's a fine character, and I think there will even be aspects that only his kit can deal with, right? Removing enemy bosses and their buffs is going to be huge. And his burst skill, I mean his ultimate skill, while it doesn't heal your team, it deals AoE damage to enemies, right? So that's also a really good thing. Like he hits all the enemies, and with him skilling off an attack, he's definitely going to be a good contributor. And yes, while he's AoE dealing with the enemies, he's also applying passive stacks to himself to allow him to heal passively. So, you know, like there's a future where Luocha is just not going to be as well synergized with a lot of characters. Now, am I saying Bailu is going to be universal? No, of course not. But for people who are struggling right now, who thinks about survivability, Bailu is the ultimate survivability unit. Even on the off chance, like you guys saw, Tingyun, I leveled up her relics. Right, she's doing pretty well now in terms of just raw stats, HP, right? Like she's doing good. She's still getting clapped though. Still dying, still having some survivability issues, and that's not even in memory of chaos. So her light cone is 60, so maybe you guys said, well, level her light cone to 70, right? Then we're gonna have more stats. And whatnot, and of course traces, you know, I can go back and work on some more traces and stuff like that, but you know, it doesn't solve the core issue that she's just a squishy character by nature. Character like Luocha definitely can prevent, like Luocha's healing can prevent her from getting like 2-shot, not 1-shot, but 2-shot. But a character like Bailu doesn't care if she gets killed, doesn't matter for Bailu. And the enemies are expending a ton of hard hits on Tingyun, which is good, right? Then Bailu brings Tingyun back, and then give her a fat heal to top her off, and then suddenly the whole team is max health again. That's a good thing about Bailu. So he is not a good long-term pull. I think Luocha will lose some value, especially if you're not pulling for characters like Blade, right? Somebody was saying in chat, like, Luocha plus destruction is the game plan. Like, I wouldn't say all destruction characters are gonna pair flawlessly with him, but destruction characters are generally gonna do good with Luocha. So it's just, if you don't have plans to invest into Blade or other characters that can synergize well with Luocha, like I think this is a wrong mindset to be in. Oh, I'm gonna pull Luocha because he heals. I need a healer, so I have to pull Luocha. That is the wrong mindset to be in right now. You're thinking too short-sighted, and you're thinking, I'm gonna pull Luocha to solve a momentary problem that I have that I could solve with other characters down the line, that it doesn't require a dedicated 5-star character to solve this problem, right? That's the wrong mindset to be in. If you want to pull for Luocha, you can say like, oh, I love the character's design, like that's all good and dandy. Don't even need to look at videos. Like you don't need other people to affirm to what you like and your taste in characters. But what you do need to be careful is, if you don't fully know what the character even does, you can't fully utilize his kit, and you're pulling for him just because you need a healer, that's very dangerous, because you might end up stuck with a character that you maybe will replace couple patches down the line when another character comes out that you actually do want and you do need and you do enjoy playing. So don't get baited into, oh, I need a healer, because that's how Hoyoverse has kind of got most people in a stranglehold right now, is that, oh, you guys need healers, right? Well, here's a healer for you. Even free-to-plays, low spenders have right now tried to bypass the need for 2 healers in Memory of Chaos. So that's really not an issue for all players anymore. Yes, the majority of players still do need to run 2 healers or one side with preservation, right? Both teams do need survivability. But I do foresee a scenario where even you guys in chat right now, the vast majority of free-to-plays are going to be able to forgo healers on one team, especially with a character like Yukong coming out, like more buffing. There's more buffing. Buff your teams through the roof. For people who don't have Bronya, so people who don't have Bronya Tingyun, now you're gonna have Yukong Tingyun, right? Like just buff more, buff crit damage, buff attack, buff everything, and try to crush the enemy before they even have a chance. Rider6 says, my plan is Luocha, Yukong, Clara, Blade, and watch the counters heal my whole team. Yeah, there's gonna, like, I think Luocha will unlock more ways to enjoy certain playstyles. That's for sure. Right, Clara probably enjoys having someone like Luocha, because remember, Clara doesn't want to play with preservation, so you can't even play Clara with a preservation team. So Clara right now, if you don't have her light cone and you don't have 2 healers, you can't really play Clara plus another team, because then your secondary team likely needs a healer as well. So you're kind of locked out of that option, right? So it makes sense. If you are a Clara main, I guess you can also invest into Luocha and then slap your healer or preservation units on the secondary team. Let's say you have a Jeopard and Natasha. Right now, you probably will have to play Natasha with Clara, right? And Jeopard with your other team. But what you could end up doing, and what if the other team, you really want a healer as well? Like maybe Jeopard is not a good fit for the type of enemies. Then maybe a healer is going to be better. These are all situational. And just like this game is very situational. It's not like one team fits all, one unit fits all. Even Silverwolf, right? We thought she was going to be a character that can solve all our problems and make it so we don't need to pull for as many characters. But now Silverwolf ended up being even more demanding of characters. Silverwolf, in fact, demands the most amount of versatility of any character in the game. She needs to be able to switch in, switch out teammates so she can guarantee a weakness debuff on the enemy. A weakness application of your choice, right? So it adds a lot more skill expression and team variance to your playthrough. But that's my verdict for Luocha. I think Luocha is probably gonna sit somewhere around like S tier. Like if you're thinking about tier list, I don't think Luocha coming out, like maybe when he first come out, he could be S plus if they have like a scenario. I'm thinking like the only reason he would be S plus is if he if the enemies, there's a lot of enemies buffing themselves. I think if there's a lot of situations where you can use his enemy buff removal mechanic, I think that's where he's gonna shine, because he's like the only one who can do that. When there's like these unique ways for you to interact with the enemies and only one character can do it, I think that's gonna have a lot of value. So Luocha probably will be S, maybe S plus rating for people's tier list, but in the months to come, I think he will drop. I'll say that maybe in 2 patches he'll go, if he's S plus now, in 2 patches he'll likely fall down to S, and then he'll stay there because he's still a really good character. So that's how I look at this character. He's S plus in a scenario with a distortion counter unit. So Clara. Yeah. Playing Clara is gonna be very fun with Luocha, so we'll see how that goes. Right now my light cones Let me find an abundant character. I don't have. Okay, I mean, I have Quid Pro Quo. I have this one. This one I won't be using for Luocha because it's just not as good. Yeah, when using skill, regenerates 2 energy for all allies. I don't know. Yeah, like because Luocha's ultimate doesn't heal, right? Outgoing healing when they use their ultimate by 12%. So this one doesn't work. This one I can't. So at the start of wearer's turn, regenerates 8 energy for randomly chosen item, excluding the wearer choose current. So I guess this one could work. Increase wearer's effective resistance. This one, outgoing healing by amount that you could have. Outgoing healing can be increased this way by up to 15%. I guess this one could work as well. Perfect timing. Quid Pro Quo could work, but I think perfect timing is better. Perfect timing is better. This one could work as well, shared feeling, but so far I think perfect timing is good. Increase where increase the wearer uses after the wearer uses base attack, their next action will be advanced forward by 20%. It's all right. At the start, immediately regenerate 12 energy for all allied. That's good as well. When the aura uses their skill ultimate, not that one, not that one. So yeah. I would say 3-star, maybe fine fruit. 4-star, perfect timing. I haven't seen the BP healing. What is the... Sorry, wrong tab. What is the BP abundance weapon? Oh, my weekly limit has been reached. Oh, man. Abundance, preservation, harmony, destruction, erudition. What? I missed it. Abundance. Okay. Increase the wearer's. I mean, it's not bad for him. It's just he doesn't really need that when used. You can get enough HP and defense stats from his substats. So ideally, I wouldn't want to build his weapon with more HP when using business or allies with random amount equal to 2%. Yeah, no. So the BP weapon is not going to be too good for him. I'm sure he can still use it. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm sure he can still use it. It's just it's not ideal. This is not ideal. So yeah, I don't think it's definitely not worth the money, that's for sure. But yeah, perfect timing, it seems like yeah, I'll just use perfect timing. This is what I'll use for Luocha if I don't get his weapon, which I likely won't. Increasing his effective resistance is going to be huge to make sure he never gets CC'd, because if he gets CC'd, if he does, you're fucked. You're screwed, because he can't passively heal when he's CC'd. Your team's is gonna get demolished. Remember, Luocha's healing is only good when it's consistent, right? When he's not CC'd, when teammates fall below certain thresholds, heals, falls, heals, falls, heals. It's a reactionary healing, and it needs to be like on beat. You cannot be skipping heals, because if every time you skip a heal, when you come back and try to like heal back whatever is missing, now your characters, for example, if they went from 70% to 40% and you didn't heal them back to, let's say, 65 or 70%, now, and then they get hit again, they're down to like 20%, right? Maybe 10%. Then you heal them back to like 50%, and then they get hit again, they back to down 10%, and then back to 50, 10, 50, and then bam, double hit, they're dead, right? You run into a scenario where, okay, hitting them once is not going to kill them, but hitting them twice, now they're within kill range. So that, and Luocha can't bring them back. So missing a healing, one beat of healing is going to cost you gravely if the enemies like the RNG punishes on that low HP threshold. So you guys have to be very, very careful playing this character. Make sure to stack up enough effective resistance so to never have a scenario where he can be CC'd. Him getting CC'd is just as bad as someone like Jing Yuan getting CC'd. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Okay. Finally, some closing statements before I let you guys go. I mean, you guys feel free to go, because this is just gonna be very quickly. There's still a lot of people saying like, oh my god, Eula, she's finally back, I'm gonna max her out, in fact I'm gonna C6 her. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, people keep thinking when I say when I share my input with Eula and share like my video with CN has pretty much given up on Eula. The theory crafter has tried. They've done as much as they could. There's only so much theory and like meta and stuff like that can do for a character like Eula. When the developers themselves don't want to put in the time and resource to empower her, to give her the time of day, right? Everything in the Abyss has made it to just more difficult for Eula. Nowadays, Eula teams almost always have to bring a second DPS. Almost always. And the best choice has been Raiden Shogun. Apart from that, people play Eula in Hyper Bloom teams. So it's just not going to work out, in my opinion. I don't think Eula currently, as it is right now, is going to work out as a top tier unit anytime soon. She can still get the job done. It just needs a little bit more work on your part to facilitate her, give her a better team to allow her to succeed, right? There's no characters that cannot clear Spiral Abyss. That is an irrefutable truth. No characters cannot. Now, 36 star is a different discussion altogether. But if people are sitting here saying, well, Eula is 100% fine because she can still clear the Abyss, are we setting the threshold a little too low for characters and their proficiencies? Right? If we're evaluating a character's relevancy based off of how, like, if they can clear the Spiral Abyss or not, in my opinion, I think we're just setting the bar way too low. Right? That's just my opinion. It's like, if we're gonna evaluate a doctor's think about it like this. To me, that bar is so low. Is like, we're trying to evaluate a person's ability to perform open heart surgery based on I want to find a proper comparison, because I'm not gonna say like based off of how much, like if they understand like, okay, like this. We're basically saying how qualified someone is to give open heart surgery to somebody else based on how well they know the basic human anatomy. It's like, as long as you can take a graph and write down exactly where every organ is, then you are suddenly qualified for open heart surgery. That's setting the bar too low. You know, there's far more things we should be taking into account. So like, why is the barrier of entry for a lot of these things set so high, right? You need like residency, you need to go to medical school, you need to learn all this stuff. Is that you need the accumulation of all this knowledge, and you need to know a little bit of everything. And on top of having residency and experience, right, you're shadowing somebody who actually had the job, and you did that for like many years. It takes like more than a decade. I'm not saying we should put the same restrictions on character, but my point is we should be evaluating these characters more than just can they clear the Spiral Abyss. Because if that's all you're looking at, suddenly like everybody is fine. Then everybody can be a heart surgeon as long as they know basic human anatomy. It doesn't work like that, right? We need to put much more we need to evaluate more criterias. And I think there's a lot going on behind the scenes. With both Holyverse changing to the Spiral Abyss, characters coming out with their dedicated support, constellations being reworked, in my opinion. Ever since Raiden Shogun, constellations have looked very different from old constellations. Same with like weapons. Nowadays, the weapons, in my opinion, are just synergized far better with their dedicated characters. So it's like all these things are constantly working together to make sure whether a unit is viable or not as like an investment in terms of value. It's always worth it if you like the character, but it's not always worth it for people who are saying, oh, should I still pull Eula? And I see people responding like, yeah, Eula can still clear the Spiral Abyss just fine. There's a lot of people pushing the narrative that she struggles, but yeah, she's completely fine. Like, she's just as good as any other DPS unit. I think you wouldn't really regret pulling for her. Those kind of generalized answers, which sell Eula in a way where it's like you make her sound to be so universal, so versatile, and OP, just like any other DPS. That's like what people are pushing the narrative for. They, of course, I get you want Eula to not receive unwanted hate. You don't want people to come in and already hate on Eula before even having a chance to give her a try. But what you're basically telling someone is like, you know, yeah, like crypto is just as good of an investment as any other investment options. In fact, crypto, you know, like is stable, is is non-volatile, has great projections for returns in the near and long term when it comes to yields, right? It's like, sure, part of that is true, but you can't really sell the thing for what it's not. Crypto is not a low risk investment. Crypto has very volatile, is a part of a very volatile market, and crypto might yield you great short term gains, and it might yield you great long-term gains, but you don't know. It also depends on which crypto. So you see, people giving generalized answers to others asking question will only lead to others jumping in with not enough information and could potentially end up hurting themselves. Arthur says, hello, new here. Is Luocha good with Sealy, and how do you think Luocha with Ting, Sealy, and Jeopard? I found Luocha fit when I need imaginary break, both buff. So, okay, here's the thing with, okay, if you want to ask about Luocha and Sealy and Jeopard, I think it's very redundant to bring double survival units for any team right now. Like, it just, you will never need that much survivability. Luocha with Sealy could work, but I think Luocha with, we were just talking about this earlier, Luocha with someone like Clara will work even better. Luocha with someone like Blade obviously will work even better. The reason being, right, because think about it like this, Luocha heals when your character falls below a certain threshold of HP. If you're playing Jeopard and your characters are falling below 50% health, something is like massively wrong. You know, if you're playing Jeopard, your character shouldn't take damage, period. Like that, if you're like, think about it, right? Think about it. If you're playing Jeopard and Luocha on the same team, and your Luocha is still healing your team, what is Jeopard doing? Like, he should be, number one, absorbing some hits, right? Attracting aggro from the enemies. Sure. So maybe you say like, okay, my Jeopard needs healing. Fine. That could be a, but you gotta understand, if your Jeopard is constantly falling below half health and he's not able to get his ultimate up, that likely means you don't have enough energy regen, right? So that's also something that you can solve. So this is not a team combination that makes sense in the long run. So Arthas, play Luocha with someone like Clara, play Luocha with someone like Blade, who's going to come out in 1.2. That's when it comes to overall synergy, that's like his T0 synergies, as the CN players would like to say. That's his best. That's his S+ tier synergies. Once you start pairing him with someone like Silas, someone like Jing Yuan, I honestly believe he goes from S+ to just an S tier character. He's like a solid healer, better than Natasha, not as good of a healer as Bailu, but he still provides other things in his kit that can help your team succeed, right? But that's just the kind of unit he is. As a healer, I think people are overvaluing his effectiveness. But his gimmick also extends beyond just healing. he can cleanse for your team, he can remove buffs from enemies. These are huge things, right? Like, you can eventually pair him with Silverwolf. You could end up pairing Luocha and Silverwolf on a team because the enemy has quantum and imaginary weakness or something like that. Maybe they have imaginary weakness, so you bring in Luocha to remove that factor from Silverwolf's RNG. That could be a scenario. And with Silverwolf debuffing enemies and Luocha removing all their buffs, the enemy is pretty much like bare ass naked in front of you for your team to just destroy, like just utterly crush them, right? So there are these scenarios where Luocha's flexibility will suddenly start to shine. But don't be mistaken thinking Luocha is going to be this S+ tier healer that can solve your problems. I was saying this earlier, is that Luocha himself being an attack scaling character, sure, he's a little squishy, but yes, his healing is automatic. So for himself as well, follows behind a certain threshold, heals yourself back up. But do remember, right? If you like, I don't think if the enemy hits you for half of your health, I don't think Luocha is gonna have enough healing. That's just my personal interpretation, is that I don't think he's gonna have enough healing to heal back 50%. I don't think he's gonna be healing, let's say, 2000 HP per heal. I don't know. Like, I haven't gotten to test him, so I don't know. Maybe at level 80, once you fully maxed out all his stats and his talents, maybe he could heal for 2000. So then your characters will never die. When they fall below half, bam, back to full. Fall below half, bam, back to full. Maybe that's a very likely scenario. And like I said before, excess healing is wasted healing. But if that's the kind of healing Luocha provides, then yeah, there's a good chance none of your characters would ever die. On the off chance that they get one shot, right? Then there's nothing you can do about that because there's no chance. So characters like Tingyun, who are inherently just a little more squishy, if she ends up taking like a huge hit, let's say she gets hit for like 3000 health, bam, she's dead. What can you do? There's nothing you can really do. Or if the enemies are hitting your characters for like 70% health, like per strong strike, and Luocha's only able to heal back like 50%, right? So then you're down 20% health, and then they do it again, and then again and again. Eventually, they're gonna kill your character. You know what I mean? They just, because you're not healing back more than what the enemy is doing. You guys get my point? Right now, a character like Bailu is out healing the amount of damage enemies can dish out. That's very important for a healer, because with a character like Bailu, who doesn't bring much damage to the team, you are essentially grinding it down with the enemies. They hit you, you heal back. They hit you, you heal back, while you deal damage to them, and they can't heal, right? So that's Bailu. Bailu actually, like, in my opinion, Bailu extends the fight more than I would like her to, because you're lacking a damage source. You have 3 sources of damage, right? She doesn't really, like, unlike Jeopard, she can't freeze the enemies. She can't absorb hits, right? She basically is just here to mitigate the enemy's damage. Luocha is different in that he brings more damage, so ideally you want Luocha to accelerate the fight. So how much of can he accelerate the fight is also depending on how well you have him built and what kind of weakness the enemies have. He plays differently. He's just a different healer. In fact, I would say he's not even a healer. I think Luocha feels, at least from the look of his kit, he feels kind of like a hybrid DPS debuff, like a hybrid DPS debuff healer type guy. He does, like, I think his kit is split between doing damage, disrupting the enemies by removing their buffs, right? And then also healing and cleansing. So he's fitting into these 3 roles, which surprisingly is like, these 3 roles are very welcome right now in the current state of the game, especially for the healing role. But if you're trying to play Luocha with your traditional DPS and with Jeopard, I don't think that's the right move you should make. I think you should be flexing Jeopard in a separate team and playing Luocha with, let's say, Seele, or playing Luocha with Qingque or Sushang, Serval. All these options. So it's like how Baiju is not really shielder. Yeah, pretty much like that. It's like a more universal healer, debuff, buff remover, cleanser, DPS support. Jeppy Luocha sounds like auto simulated universe free pass. Yeah, but even with just Jeopard and Abundance, it's still a free pass, right? Because then why don't we just add one more? Why don't we bring, you know, Bailu, Luocha, and Jeopard, right? You know what's like? Imagine you bring Clara, Bailu, Luocha, and Jeopard. Maybe not Jeopard. Jeopard is terrible for Clara, but like that's my point. It's too much. It's excess. You don't need like think about it. It's still people think it's a free pass because they don't know how much variance there could be, right? So let's say if you can clear 100% every single time, let's say you have a 5-minute simulated universe clear, but by the end of the clear, every time your characters are all down to 5% HP. But you have got it calculated to a dot. Like I can clear it if I bring, let's say, the Hunt, and I play this character with this character, and with just Natasha, for example. Then that's gonna be your most optimal, most efficient clear path, and it spends the least amount of time. Especially for simulated universe, you want to farm that for the token so you can come back and buy the buffs, right? So for people who want to grind simulated universe, do you want to bring two like Luocha and Jeopard and have like a 20-minute clear, or would you rather bring, let's say, Bronya, Tingyun, and Natasha with, let's say, a Seele and have like a 5-minute clear? However, the clear for Bailu and Jeopard, when you finish it, every time you're full HP, your whole team is like super healthy. But but when you run the other variants with like Natasha, Seele, Bronya, Silverwolf or whatever, and you finish, by the time you finish clearing, oftentimes maybe one character is dead, or whatever. I don't know, like, but you still get like both clears, you get the same reward is what I'm saying, but one has a little more variance to it, but it's way faster, or the other one takes longer but has like a guaranteed 100% survival result. I would personally take the one that takes like a third of the time. I'll take the 5-minute clear over the 15-minute clear. It's just because by the time you clear the other one once, I would have cleared it twice or maybe almost 3 clears with this one. And when we're talking about farming for the tokens, it's just more efficient that way, right? You don't like, you want it to be fast but safe, but you don't want it to be too safe and too slow. We're finding this balance between simulated universes. Like, you want it to be as fast and efficient as possible, right? But while getting all the possible rewards and the tokens without losing any tokens. So once you find that threshold, you're good. Any more than that is unnecessary. Once you find the perfect survivability combo, then it's just piling more damage, more damage, more damage, more damage. Ideally, you want to go in and crush enemies like in one turn. Every enemy, one turn, except for the elites, maybe 2-3 turns, and then the boss, maybe like 4 or 5 turns, and then you're done, right? But if you're running a Bailu or Luocha and Jeopard, you might end up taking a little too long to get the job done. Sesko says, I only have Natasha, not Bailu or Jeopard, and rarely I have problems on simulated. Yeah, so Natasha is more than enough for simulated. That's my point, right? It's just, once you have enough, that's good enough. You don't need any more. Most people who make a case for Luocha are just talking about MOC or rounding out their compositions, or people who want the pull for Blade. I'm sure there's a lot of people right now who knows that they're gonna skip Luocha because it's just like they can't really fit him into the team comms they want to play, and also they are not really too keen about Memory of Chaos. They're totally okay waiting for future abundance characters or future preservation characters. Again, really get to know your account better, know what you need, know synergies, and play around your strength. Is Welt good? Welt is good. But Welt is not a guaranteed character. For people who want Luocha just because they want an imaginary character, that's also a fair point. Like, okay, getting that, let's say you pulled Silverwolf. that's one of the main reasons why I'm even pulling for Luocha, is because I have Silverwolf. And I've realized that there will be scenarios where I need an imaginary character on my team to have a higher chance of guaranteeing Silverwolf's debuff onto the boss. And that's going to directly affect how quickly I clear the run. So I'm currently in a situation where, unfortunately, I want to play to Silverwolf's strength. And to play to Silverwolf's strength means I have to build a character almost of every single element so I can eventually flex them into the teams with Silverwolf to have a higher chance of guaranteeing the weakness I want to apply onto the enemies. You guys will get to this point as well, trust me. I guarantee you, if you have Silverwolf or you plan on getting Silverwolf, you'll eventually be like, damn, I need more element characters to have Silverwolf perform more consistently. That's just how she is. Yep, you want a sustain in every element with silver. Exactly, and that's just unfortunate that she turned out to be a unit that wants so much variables, like variance, right? Which is fine. I mean, it's fine. But when I first saw the character, I thought, oh my god, this character is so OP. If you get her, you never have to pull another, like you never have to pull people of different elements again. But then once I realized they nerfed her from applying 2 weakness to 1 and stuff like that and reduced the number of turns, I started thinking, okay, maybe, maybe Hoyoverse doesn't like that. Mendez says, I want to lose 50-50 to get Jeopard. Don't we all? I want to lose 50-50 to get Bronya E1. Bronya E1 is really good. Bronya E2 is not bad either. Like a speed plus 30% after taking action. That's crazy. So basically it's kind of like using her skill on them twice, almost. Like not the same thing, but the 30% speed is huge, right? Imagine giving it to somebody like Jing Yuan. Hopefully I want to get Jing Yuan to 115 or maybe like close to 120 speed. Giving him 30% is like another like 35 or like 38 speed. So he goes from like 120 to 150. Right, that's a huge speed bonus for 1 turn. So that's gonna be huge. Eventually I want to work Bronya closer to E2. So losing to Bronya is probably super worth. I haven't really looked into, yeah, that's like, this is not too important. Like these two are good to have, but they're not too important because it's not about delaying the enemy, right? Currently the meta is not about delaying the enemy, but buffing yourself, making yourself do more, go faster. Ambrosial Aqua, target is going to go to the max HP and regenerate. Oh, okay, this is pretty good. This is all right. Like these two are all right. This one is actually good because it can help accelerate the team even more. So any Eidolon that helps accelerate your team is good. So yeah, that's gonna be that. We went a little overboard again as usual, but I hope you guys had fun. Hope we had some meaningful discussion. I do feel bad for Eula. I really do. I wish Hoyoverse would do a little more to help her out. And God knows when's the next time she's gonna make a rerun. So for people who really do want her, who really do like her, this is your chance. But if you guys are meta players and you're wanting to chase for some good investments, I guess, for your Genshin accounts, I think this is a no-brainer that you're probably just gonna skip her for now. Unless they release a leak about like some of like a cracked out maybe 5-star dedicated Eula support. I don't think she's going anywhere. Does Weld have a future long term? I think Weld is really good in disrupting the enemies. Like that's his whole thing, right? Like disrupting the enemies. And I think Weld is gonna sit very comfortably where he is until another character comes out that does what he does. So until that happens, Welt is going to sit very comfortably where he's at right now. Gregorius Hansen says, I was considering Silverwolf, but I have no carry to utilize her, or is this a wrong mindset? I said this in the past, which I still believe right now, is that a lot of you guys don't need Silverwolf right now, but you're gonna really want Silverwolf maybe 6 to 8 months from now. So think about it like this. Do you want to bank on her rerun and pull for her then when you're much more equipped to utilize her full kit and leverage her power? Or would you rather have her now and not really be able to use her to her full effect, but you can still use her and flex, and if you get lucky, you can still be having, you know, you can still basically benefit her as if you were fully benefiting from her. But like a great example, what the fuck? A great example I always give to people is if you just casually go into the memory of chaos and take a look, right? For example, this team, look, okay, so my team 1, I'm putting Silverwolf on the second team because my team 1, I'll do something like this, probably something like this, I know, maybe something like this, I don't know, but this is, and the second team, what would you have to bring to guarantee almost a Silverwolf, like to make it a 50-50? Because unfortunately they don't have a quantum weakness, so worst case scenario is a 50-50. Right? If I would like to bring Clara, I would like to bring Branya, I would like to bring Luocha, and then Silverwolf. Then it's a 50-50. Then it's a 50-50. I mean, it's not a 50-50. Then you guarantee a quantum weakness, right? Or what you can do is like, you can also just put Silverwolf here and then flex the Luocha Clara team down here. But the whole point of Silverwolf is taking the characters that you have and guaranteeing a weakness that you want. So this one, for example, if I want to put Silverwolf here, I want to guarantee a quantum weakness here. I can bring this Silverwolf, right? So now I have quantum. Now I need to fill in the last two with lightning and fire. I'll bring Bailu for lightning, and I'll bring maybe this for fire. Now you don't have Branya here, but if you bring Branya, then it's not guaranteed, right? That's why having more variants of characters is going to allow you to guarantee the success here. Now for the second half, Jingyuan, Tingyun, probably bring Branya, and if I have Luocha, I'll bring Luocha, right? This is basic memory of chaos. It's just like pairing up these things and be like, okay, this is gonna work, this is not gonna work, I'm gonna substitute this character for that character. But you see, on the top half, Silverwolf is guaranteed quantum 100%. But you see, my question for you is, do you have the flexibility in your account to play like this? Right now, most likely not, unless you're spending money, right? But in a couple of months, you will. Right? So for example, if I want to apply having, this is the thing. Let's what is Blade's element? Is it wind? Is Blade wind? He is, right? So imagine a scenario, you have Blade, right? You don't even need to use Jingyuan. Like, Jingyuan is not going to be a good fit here. So if you have Blade and Luocha, right, you can play Silverwolf in the first half, and then Blade and Luocha in the second half. This is Like all of these, it's just like it feels like a jigsaw puzzle. Like you gotta like, okay, I'm gonna plug this in, I'm gonna use this and see if I can get this done. Over here is like this is even more crazy, like more weaknesses. Silverwolf is gonna just have a field day down here for sure. But Memory of Chaos puts more restrictions. This is gonna be a great Clara, Blade, Luocha team down here. Actually, Clara, Blade, Luocha, and probably like Branya or whatever the hell down here, and then you can have a Sealy Silverwolf team up here, and then have a double. So for example, right, you can still, even in this scenario, you can still take advantage of Silverwolf. Let's say if you have let's see, where is that Pella? I haven't really played that Pella. That's Herda. I think that's Pella, right? Yeah, that's Pella. That's Pella. I don't need to look anymore. That's Pella. So Pella is ice, I believe. Is she ice? Yeah, Pella is ice. And then you can have someone like Shepherd, right? So what ends up happening is this team, Silverwolf, has a 100% chance to apply ice. 100%. So whoever you bring, you can bring a double of anything. But you see, this is another test to how well you have constructed your account. You can also bring Bailu and Tingyun. Guaranteed electric. I mean lightning, right? That's pretty much the few viable ones I have. I mean, you can bring this, you can bring Asta and MC. Yeah, there's another combination you can bring. That's what Silverwolf is for. But you see, if you don't have these characters built up, you cannot flex them into these unique scenarios that allows you to leverage Silverwolf's skill to apply an additional weakness. So these one single weakness type fights are going to be hella annoying. And of course, you can also open this up and look at additional weaknesses that you want to counter, right? Work around your advantages. So for example, you see, okay, we got ice here, we got fire here, we got wind and stuff. These are like smaller mobs, so it's like not really a big problem. But you guys can see, oh, wind. So ideally, maybe I want wind more because wind seems to be prevalent. So I can use wind, leverage these fights, and I can apply wind weakness over here. Cool. Right? Then you can go back and look and see if you have wind characters. Right now we have like no variants, very little characters. But in the future, if there is a wind abundance character and a wind harmony character, like another wind harmony, right? So you can flex more, like, oh, but I want my wind character down here, but I also would like to use wind up here. Then you need more characters. That's what I'm saying. Like even now, if I wanted to make full use of Silverwolf, I can't even do it. And there are some whales who can't even do it because certain roles just don't exist right now, right? We don't have a fire abundance character. Am I wrong? Is there a fire abundance? No, right? So we don't have a fire abundance. Luocha is going to be our first imaginary abundance. We don't have quantum abundance. So it's just it's a work in progress. Do we have an ice abundance? No. So ice abundance is also missing. That's why I keep saying, like 6 to 8 months from now, you guys will really want a Silverwolf. Now, will she have had a rerun by then? I don't know. She could rerun in a year. So you might have to play the game for 4 months with no Silverwolf, but you're ready for her. You're ready and you can fully leverage her. And you would love to have her. If you're somebody who suffers from regret and be like, man, I really wish I have Silverwolf, then you can still pick her up now. Right? Corpses, even without weakness implants, Silverwolf provides enough debuffs to make using her worthwhile. And you need to an auto attack anyways for skill point generation. Yes, you're right. However, at the same time, there are other great options apart from Silverwolf. Let's say if you're in a lot of people who are not pulling for Silver right now is because let's say they want Luocha or they want Blade or they want Kafka and they're like, I don't really I don't really want Silverwolf. Like she's good to have. I don't mind having her, but right now I'm in a real crunch for resources, right, for gems. Then it's like you really have to ask yourself, are you really gonna Like, for example, if you are building damage over time, you're pulling Blade and Kafka, or you're pulling Blade and Luocha. You skip, let's say, Jingyuan and Silverwolf. You skip Seele, you pull Jingyuan, and you're skipping Silverwolf. There's a lot of different combinations, and there are certain characters that just work better with others, right? Pulling a Luocha to work with your Seele is not going to be as good as pulling a Silverwolf to work with your Seele, right? Let's say if you skipped everybody, you skipped Seele, Jingyuan, and Silverwolf because you want to invest into Blade, Luocha, and Kafka, right? I could see a scenario where Blade and Kafka could have some synergies with their damage over time with Luocha in it. This is another bundle of characters, an entirely separate way of playing around damage that the previous banners that they don't want to play like this. Maybe Silverwolf is the only one that can flex into that team. For example, you might have Luocha, Blade, Kafka, and Silverwolf, right? That's why Silverwolf is like the bridge character that can be plotted into any team. So in that sense, if you guys are wondering, well, is it a good idea to pull Silverwolf? Yeah, if you are thinking of utilizing her in these kind of team scenarios, I would say it's not a bad idea. In fact, I would say Silverwolf will outlast a lot of these characters in terms of how flexible she is. There could be a scenario where going forward, every top meta team has a Silverwolf in it. Think about it like that. It's just they switch out the other characters, but Silverwolf is always in the team recommendation list. If that's a scenario you want to avoid and be like, damn it, why didn't I pull Silverwolf? Then pull her. Because top meta teams are always presented, but not everybody can build them. So then you have to offer alternatives, right? Alternative characters. So people, listen, there's no one right answer, right? If you want to be future-proof, Silverwolf, in my opinion, is future-proof. They're not going to release another character that does what she does, right? Luocha will have other characters that can heal better than him. Luocha will have other characters that can, like, cleanse, right? Cleanse is not a uniquely Luocha thing. There's going to be other characters, support DPSs that offer good damage support. Luocha is just somebody who brings all that into one, but right now Honkai Star Rail is not in a situation where we're really in need of more slots. We don't need role consolidation just yet in this game. Genshin Impact really needs it. Honkai Star Rail, not so much. So, yeah. Only Wallet Chan can make sure you have all the toys. That's true. And for people who don't want to spend, you have to be a little more careful with your resources, a little smarter, right? You can't really just get everything you want. You have to try to pair together proper synergies. But with that said, thank you guys so much for watching. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Till then, urge y'all to stay safe. Peace, peace. Bye-bye.